All right, welcome to another How Do I? Now, this question came across, and my list is getting bigger and bigger. So, if you want to drop me a note, go ahead and tell me that you have a question on how do I do this, but make sure it has to do with business and leadership for sure. Mostly leadership. All right, so someone said, how do I get them to do what it is I want them to say and see and implement and execute? They're not doing it. Yeah, I know why. You don't. Because you think that you told them, or you showed them, or you said, come see this, and they actually saw it. That's not the case. So let me just give it to you real quick. The problem's not them, it's you. So if you're thinking that they're a jerk because you didn't, you know, you didn't get the response from them that you expected. You didn't see that they fulfilled the expectation. They seem to be going here and you were here and you're like, where's the miss? I'll tell you what the miss is. It's called neuro-linguistic programming is what you want to look up online. Get drink here. And another shortened version of it would be called NLP, P like Paul. And since this has been around for decades, literally, I know that they've done some more advances in it, but I'm going to give you the down and dirty skinny on it because it will help you tremendously, not only at work, but with your relationships with your spouse or your partner or your kids. It's sometimes a big issue when you have teams that don't get along or, small teams of two or three. And often, even when I have done spouse coaching, the spouses that are married to the leader, and they get together and they go, wow. So here's how it goes. When you were born, you had a caregiver that took care of you up until about the age of 5 or 6. That's when the brain begins to get to its cognitive thinking and it's most susceptible. It's like a sponge before that time of just absorbing information. And the way that you absorb that information is the way that you expect information to be delivered and the way that you see information or hear or experience information in the world. So let's just take the little baby who's got a caregiver, and that could be a mom, an aunt, a dad, an uncle, a grandfather, grandma, nanny, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. But whoever was spending the most time with you, the predominant one, programmed your brain to receive information a certain way. So let's just say that we have one nanny, like might be easier sitter, that says, "Oh yeah, uh, do you see Wawa? Let's go see the TV. Let's go see what's on the radio. Let's go see what music we like. Let's see your shoes. Let's go see your bed." Okay, so the kid is learning that the eyes are now the tunnel to the world. And that child grows up being a visual. My mom's a visual. She's an artist. She sees everything completely different than I do. You can see some of her artwork right up there. She can look out a window and see things that I never see. I'm like, what, where is that? And that's because she's an audio decoder. Her brain decodes the world through visuals. I happen to be, or she's a visual decoder. I happen to be the audio decoder. I said that backwards, I believe. I'm not going to edit it. We'll get it. So the audio decoder, whoever took care of me or I really paid attention to was audio. Yep. Lots of talking, lots of words, lots of ways to explain things, long texts. We do nowadays, us audios. We like to write letters. We can hold a conversation for hours. Yes, and we use words like, do you hear what I'm saying? I don't understand. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. You think they're Italian saying that. That's not it. Talk to me. Give it to me. Give it to me in the ear so I can hear you. Say it louder. Yeah, so you'll see that there's a whole bunch of little tips on the phrases that a visual and an audio use. And then the third type of decoding is the kinesthetic. Now, we hear about kinesthetic learning in school, and that's what the Montessori schools were based on. If you ever wondered, what does a Montessori school do different? They find out if the kid is audio, visual, or kinesthetic. Our military does this too. Yeah, you're going to train to be an Air Force pilot. And I don't know if they still do this, maybe they do it differently, but they do find out, are you audio, visual, or kinesthetic? And if you're visual, they're going to show you a movie. Yeah, show a movie. And then you're going to go jump. And someone, like the instructor's, going to show you how to do it with your eyes. And if you're audio, they're going to let you see the movie, but they know that you're not going to pick up too much. So they'll have an audio recording playing. And you'll listen to that, and then you'll go jump. And the instructor will be very, very clear to tell you every little detail. And then the one who's kinesthetic, well, they don't see a movie or hear audio. They got to do it 3 times because it's about experience. And so, kinesthetics often get a bad rap. Yeah, because they have to replay things 3 times. They have this like imaginary file cabinet behind them that they try to go into to figure out, oh, this piece of information's coming. How do I feel about that? Have I ever had that before? Whoa, what happened then? Where did we go? And they have to put it all in front of them before they go, how does that feel? And so they use words like, I'm not feeling it. What are you feeling right now in this situation? It's kinesthetic. You got to feel better than that if you're going to do this report. It's kinesthetic. Now, all of us have the predominant way that we actually take in information. Do we have a second? Rarely. We are audio and visual and kinesthetic. So here's how it creates problems, and I'll give you one based on a story which was kind of cute. I don't even think my daughter remembers it, but she was 9 months pregnant with my first grandson. And it was Maundy Thursday, and she's Catholic, and I'm not. And she said, as she was leaving my house for a quick short visit, hey, Ma, you and Dad want to go to, the Mass tomorrow night? Good Friday Mass? I was like, okay, what time? She said 3. No, she said 5 to 8. I was like, ooh, 3 hours. I said, no, I don't think so. Dallas, which was my little grandson, 3 years old, is going to be with us and it won't work. Well, Mandy, who is visual, took her coat, buttoned it up, hunched her shoulders, put her hands in her pockets, walked towards the door, opened it up, didn't kiss Mama goodbye, got no hug that day. Nope. Left the door, kind of hit her butt on the way out, because she wasn't even holding the screen door. Got into the car and she drove away mad. Or at least triggered. So Mama over here goes to bed at night, and I'm thinking, now what's wrong with this picture? This kind of happens a lot with her. I don't know why. And then realizing that sometimes the doctor's kids are always sick and the landscaper's lawn always has, weeds, and the guy who's, doing execution can't get anything done, or the woman who's, baking in the bakery can't bake a cake at home. I said to myself, I'm audio, she's visual. So the next morning I called her up and I said, hey, this is your audio mama here. Could you please replay the question last night with as many words as possible to describe what you were trying to ask me? And she says, yeah, right. Sure. Okay, you want it, Mom? I'll tell you exactly what it is. Well, guess what? I'm going to light the candles on Friday night. And it's Friday night mass. Do you know how many people go to Friday night mass? I might even have to park a couple blocks away. And guess what? The hubby, he's working tonight. Yeah, closing the books. Yes. So guess what? It's also supposed to be snowy, sleet, and I could slip and fall, and you want more words, and break my water. Wow, those are a lot of words. Thank you. I will be there. Now, the difference was I got the information delivered to me as an audio. I needed to hear the details. She, as a visual, did not communicate in my modality. She communicated like a visual does. They have lots of popcorn thinking. They get a thought here, a thought here, a thought here, and they blurt it out. And they have the whole picture in their mind, like my daughter did, but they're not communicating it. And so an audio and visual will have a lot of mishaps. And then you will have a situation where a kinesthetic goes, I don't want any words, please, please. And don't show me anything. Don't paint a picture. Just let's go do it. Can we like do a dry run? We'll do it. I want the story around it. The story that shows how you do it. You get in the car, you drive to the church, you open up the door, you find the sleep, you decide that you better park as close as you can. You find out you got to be 3 blocks away, and then you feel really icky and you start to feel afraid that you might slip on the ice and break your water. That's a kinesthetic story. So when I get called in by the CEOs that I coach, and sometimes they have teams maybe of 2 or 3, or a group of people that are constantly fighting and triggered and things aren't getting done, and they're like, "You said this and you didn't hear me, and why didn't you show me that?" I right away go, "Oh, well, we got the problem to decode the brain problem." And when you fix it, a lot of drama goes away. And so that's why this is the most important lesson. You've got to figure out what type of personality style you are. Now, in one case, many, many years ago, I was called in by a CEO who had 3 employees. One was audio, one was visual, one was kinesthetic. And guess what? They had 1 week to shape up. Otherwise, they were going to be fired and terminated. They tried everything, coaching, one-to-one sessions. Let me, show you this. And here's what I heard when I put them around a collaborative table, hear that? A round collaborative table. I asked them what's going on. The audio said, "You know what? She keeps sending me these long emails, and I got to open them up and I got to read them word for word, and it's driving me nuts. She leaves a report on my desk. I'm not going to read that. Why doesn't she just come over to my cubicle and tell me what it is she wants?" And the visual says, "She walks around the office, finds me at the water cooler, and tells me what it is I'm supposed to be doing." What? I don't want that. Just shoot me a text. Just show me in some type of visual, a Word document, anything, a PDF, something I can read. And the kinesthetic said, "Oh my gosh, I've worked here a very short time, and nobody is showing me how to do my job. Neither one of them." And the audio and the visual were like, "What do you mean show you? Like take you through the experience of your job? I don't got time for that." So there you go, the dilemma. Now, can you absolutely track every single employee and team player and people that you work with, what type of personality style they have? No, not unless they're going to wear a shirt that says, "I'm a visual." So leaders have to learn to communicate in all 3 modalities. You have to speak it, you have to show it with some visuals, PowerPoint, report, pictures, paint the picture in your mind. And then you have to be a kinesthetic and you've got to be the storyteller. So when you tell a story about the experience, you will cover all 3 modalities. It's one reason why some of the very famous storytellers, Jesus Christ was one, always heard and impacted people's hearts because he told the story for the audio, the visual, and those who wanted to experience it. So here's what you're saying. "Oh, okay, how the heck do I figure out what I am?" Just go take an online test. There's a lot of free ones out there. And when you take it, you'll find out you have a predominant way that your brain decodes information. And then you will be so excited that you'll want to go back and test your kids, your family, your spouse, your partners, whatever it is, your employees for sure. But as a leader, teach them this lesson. It takes the drama out of the day. When people start to understand, I have had in some cases the little name tag by their office or by their chair that says, "I am an audio." We talk about it all the time. "I'm a visual and I'm proud of it." "I'm kinesthetic. We're proud of it." There's no one that is bad or slower or smarter or faster than the other. And by the way, It's one reason why the Chicago public school systems and most public school systems did away with the letters on top of the board. Those were only for visuals. And we wondered why so many kids couldn't necessarily write the A, B, and C. So even though they were saying it, it wasn't making sense because a B isn't a word. So when you're teaching someone, be the great storyteller. And this then will be the platform to create integrity, respect between your relationships, trustworthiness, great cultures, and really catapult you into what you'll learn on your next one about commitment and agreement. All right, make sure you check out again that YouTube channel. Go to theleadingheart.com, theleadingheart.com, and look up the Power Packs. Get Power Packs because for all these mini lessons, I am developing an entire Power Pack for 19 bucks, where you're going to get the audio, the visual, the presentation, the notes, anything for the thinker, which is the kinesthetic, anything for the visualizer, and anything for the audio. All right, have a good one and enjoy spotting who of your friends are which.